Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 2022 Virtual SAC Football Media Day. I'm here with Lenoir-Rhyne University's head football coach, Mike Jacobs. Welcome. How are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great, Brittany. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just getting done with all these interviews and ready for this season to start.
Right, it's on us, right? Summer's waning for us football coaches.
I've never seen a summer go so fast.
That's right.
So fast. Well, my first question for you today is, how do you think your team is going to do coming into this 2022 season?
I think we got a chance to be a good program again. Although we've had some significant loss on each side of the ball with some upperclassmen who had taken their COVID year and things like that. We feel really positive about how our recruiting's gone in our first three cycles here, and some young guys who are finally getting to have the opportunity to maybe step up and play and contribute in bigger roles. But the conference is super competitive, and we're gonna have to play really well week in and week out to have a chance.
Yeah, we are very competitive, especially with the addition leading into my next question, which is now that we will have Emory and Henry, Barton and Erskine as our associate members. How do you think the league will change? Do you think the competitiveness will be higher? What are your thoughts on the additions to our league?
I think anytime that you add competitive programs, whether it's a startup similar to Barton, Coach has done a great job with them. They were competitive last year, playing as not a full member yet, but I believe they were over 500 and had some tremendous individual players. So he's done a great job, and Chip's been in the league for a while. And Emory Henry's had a fair amount of success at the level they've been at. I've seen teams successfully transition from D3 to D2, and expect them to be in the same ilk. They're in a talented recruiting state in Virginia, and I think they're going to add. They certainly expand our footprint of the conference in general, and I think they'll add value and competitiveness all the way around.
Yeah, I agree. That's what the last two coaches I've interviewed with this morning all have the same to say. They're going to add great value and competitiveness to our league. We're very excited to have them. And so this year we're having an official SAC Conference Championship. What are you guys excited for that? Does that bring new motivation to your team as far as wanting to get to that I know everybody wants to get to the championship, but will it bring more motivation to your guys? And yeah, how excited are you guys for that?
Yeah, I think certainly you want to mimic what's going on at the highest level of where you're at, and you've seen at the Division I level with conference championships for a long time. There's other Division II conferences that have done it. What I think it does is it provides an opportunity for what should be the best two teams in the conference to play head to head and have an opportunity to win it outright. And every year you got to play well, and your goal is to win the conference. And whether it adds extra motivation, I don't think so. I think it heightens the fact that there's something to play for.
Yeah.
Certainly if you have an opportunity to play for your conference championship, you should be well positioned for the NCAA playoffs, and those are all part of many goals that we have, certainly on Lenoir-Rhyne, and I imagine most programs do in our conference.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a good spread there. I think we'll be able to get some people into that for sure. Mm-hmm. We have a very good league. As far as you kind of touched on this in the beginning, you said you have some new players coming in, and it's kind of it's going to be an entirely new team. What are some of the leaders coming? Who are some of the leaders coming back though, and who would you say is going to probably be kind of your leader, or people who help the younger guys coming in this season?
Sure. We have a number of guys back, and the unique thing is with COVID, some of those guys they may be only sophomores on the field, but they're juniors in the classroom.
Yeah.
So you redshirted everybody almost, and so just looking at it in three phases offensively, certainly coming back from a statistic standpoint, right, Dwayne McGee was a first-team All-American last year, our sophomore running back, and expect him to continue to do great things and challenged him to expand his role and what he does better when he doesn't have the ball. But he's certainly a guy that's a vocal leader and, is a guy that leads by example with how he works and his work ethic. I think Blake Jefferson, our starting center, provides tremendous leadership for us. He's a guy that's going into his third year as a starter. He's an all-conference kid last year, so I think he provides stability. He's a guy that just does everything right on and off the field, and has been somebody we've leaned on already. And so I just, expect his leadership to continue to increase. We have a number of other guys back on the offensive line, guys that either were part-time or full-time starters last year. I'm excited about the development of Xavier Jennings and Shane Wells at the tackle positions. And, we think we have a young but talented wide receiving core. Certainly anytime you lose a guy who's drafted in the NFL and Derek Young. But, unfortunately, Derek was hurt a lot last year. So what it did allow us to do was play a number of those young guys quite a bit. And I think in the totality of that wide receiver room led by Dre Lester and Keelan Parsons, Jordan Payne, Ryan Carter, who's a senior. He's going to provide leadership for us, again, in the locker room and on the field by how he does things. He's an extremely hard worker in the weight room. And, those guys all combined together, we'll need to do some stuff as we break in a new quarterback. This will be the first time in what seems like forever Grayson Willingham doesn't take a snap for us under center at Lenoir-Rhyne. So certainly looking forward to the development of that position group in particular. And, whoever kind of comes out of the mix on that, I would expect them naturally to have some leadership as well, offensively. Defensively, certainly huge losses with Amari Houston, the Defensive Conference Player of the Year, and Dan Luba, who had been a multiple-time all-conference player. Eric Jackson, same deal. So we lose a little more senior leadership on that side of the ball. But, again, excited about our young players on the defensive line. Excited to get Zeke Nance back up front, coming off an injury. I think really a guy who's a vocal leader and just a high-end player for us is John Ross May, a linebacker who, again, he's kind of one of those guys that, will only be a sophomore on the field, but has been here now 3 years in our program and really understands how we want to approach each and every day in practice. And I'm excited about the leadership he brings. Sedarius Kelly in the back half, a corner, is somebody I think that's really going to kind of primed to have a breakout season as well. So a few more new faces on that side of the ball, with some more losses in senior leadership roles, but excited about that. And then special team wise, replacing Chase Albaugh, who set an NCAA record for PAT field goals made, or point after attempts made, and is now playing professional ball, is a guy that, we're going to have to find somebody to do in that room. We'll have a new snapper as well in that group. So, some new faces all across the board, but all in all, guys that have been in the program for a while now and understand how we want to do things and have been around some successful Lenoir-Rhyne teams.
Yeah, one of the only maybe some of the good things that came out of COVID is definitely that now you have these players who have been here, like you said, there might be juniors in the classroom or seniors in the classroom, but they're sophomores on the field and they have all this time and they've really been able to help you with your culture. And you obviously talk very highly of your players. They all sound like amazing young men. And it sounds like you guys are going to have a lot of great leadership heading into this season. Speaking of this season, you have a new football stadium or a stadium being built. Are you guys super excited to play? We've seen all the updates of the stadium, and are you excited to play in that stadium?
Absolutely. I think, I've been around football most of my life. I've been to a number of Division II venues across several conferences, and LR is a really special game day environment, and it's like Field of Dreams. You build it, they will come, right? And so we certainly, our administration, our Vice President of Athletics, Kim Pate, and our President, Dr. Witt, have done an unbelievable job with our Lenoir-Rhyne community, and just our alumni making the vision happen and not cutting any corners. And I'm anxious for the rest of the conference to see it, because I think it's one of the finest venues in Division II now, and it's going to be loud in there, and it's going to be a great place for a game day atmosphere.
I would agree. I was there for the lacrosse championship because that's what I was leaning over, and I was just like, they were building the side with the press box and everything at the time we were there, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. I'm very excited. Hopefully we get to come and be there this season. That'll be awesome. I'm just excited. I'm excited for your guys' video board. I know your SIDs and all that are excited as well, because that's pretty awesome. You guys are going to have some sick videos, I'm sure.
Yeah, our Jeremy Zlaka and his team, Danny Nicosia, they do an unbelievable job with our sports information and our social media, and Tanner Hardy, who works with us here in football specifically. Just that's such a big part of what people do anymore, and that's it's sales for your program. It tells your story. Yeah, it tells your story to your alumni, and it's been fun to expand and watch that department grow.
Yeah, they're awesome. I work with them almost every day. They're great people. And then my final question to you would be, obviously every year every team has their own motto or their own saying. Sometimes they take it from the year before and bring it into the next, or they have a whole new one. What is your guys' plans with that? Will you have a catchphrase, a motto for this year?
Yeah, I'm not a big motto guy. I guess not. I'm sure my players would have some sort of tick that I repeat. We come from the ilk that we have a pyramid of success, and it's that every year. So the motto doesn't necessarily change. It's the foundation of what we want our program to be, and our core values are what's at the bottom of the pyramid to make that thing strong. And then as you work your way up, it's kind of how we want to do things, how we want to practice, and the energy and the effort that we look to do things with and live our lives with. And, the ultimate goal of winning a SAC championship, making the national playoffs, and all those kinds of things. But, for us, that's just kind of a reminder and a way to set ourselves and set our sights each day that you really have to have kind of that 1-0 daily mentality, and can't let things get too far in front of you in today's world. So gotta be very present in the moment and very compartmentalized that way.
I agree. Very important to be present. My coach always said that. We went one game at a time, one thing at a time. So I love that. I love it. Hopefully, maybe if you guys do come up with a motto, your team does, hopefully I'll be able to hear it or see it on social media. We'll see. But I want to thank you so much for coming on today's media show. We're so excited for the season to start, and we're wishing you all the luck in your season and with your new team this upcoming season.
Thank you so much for having me, Brittany. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great preseason.